My name is Nic Beveridge. I'm an Australian Paralympic triathlete and I've been competing in the sport for 9 years.
Here we have Aussie Nic Beveridge.
The sport of triathlon's taught me a lot of really valuable lessons, and one of those is the ability to adapt, to be flexible. As we've got 3 disciplines, that's 3 things that you have to be good at, and at a high performance level, it's not just about being good at them, it's about being as world class as you can be just to be competitive. There's not a lot of room for error, and to get the sort of work done that you need to get done, you do need to be flexible in your approach. Maybe a little stubborn with the end goal or what you'd like to try and see if you can achieve, but definitely flexible about how you go in achieving that. And our days are quite stacked. As I mentioned, there is a fair bit of work to do. So a day can look like anything from gym to a ride to a run that afternoon, sometimes a little bit lighter, a longer swim, and then maybe a push. Yeah, the days vary very much, and every day you kind of have to wake up with your mind ready to face something different. The services I've utilised through Permobil, which was getting measured up for a new day wheelchair, has made such a massive difference to my life. Being a triathlete and always being on the move, and to an extent having my body under stress and pressure from the work we're doing in training, you kind of need to make sure that you're maximising your rest and your recovery, but also how efficiently you're getting to training. And for me, utilising a wheelchair in my day-to-day life, being able to maximise my movement, that's performance in life. It kind of takes a lot of the things that I've learnt from sport and opened my eyes up to making sure that you are applying those things in your everyday life. Being in this chair that Permobil has scripted me up for, that's made for me and for how I've evolved in life, it's taken a lot of pressure off my wrists and my shoulders, which I was really starting to struggle with. It's helped me. I've found it's a part of my performance equipment in sport. We use it in transitions going from the swim to the bike. My time is cut down by at least 10 seconds just by the fluidity of the motion, it moving better, me being able to push it better, me being able to balance better in the chair. All of those things, they have such a large impact, not just on the sporting field, but you take those sort of motions that you need in sport and you think about how many times you're probably doing that in life, like going from the kitchen to your bedroom and maybe the phone's ringing, you need to get there. Suddenly you're doing it in half the time and a quarter of the effort. It all adds up and it all comes back to enabling you to rest so that you can maximise your life to the fullest. My proudest moment in triathlon might sound a little bit strange, but it was actually starting the sport. Anyone who has probably started in the sport of triathlon might say that there are barriers, there's hurdles that prevent an athlete or a participant from getting involved, not just at a high performance level or in the Paralympic space, but the Olympic able-bodied space too. There's equipment that you require to get started. It's not like you can just rock up and go. For me, needing a hand cycle and a racing wheelchair, there were certain hurdles that I had to get over in order to get those, and relative to my life, they were quite difficult. Unlocking my ability to get over those hurdles and get a racing wheelchair that I could utilise and a hand cycle that actually enabled me to start training in the sport back at the end of 2012 will always feel like my proudest achievement in the sport. It'll always make me feel like I've earned my right to be here, to be a participant in the sport, and everything else that has happened since. It's really a bonus. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that. I can get lost in the competitive side of it, but when I do reflect, it is something that I'm really proud of. A goal in life for me would definitely be the ability to be free. Freedom is such a priceless gift, and part of that freedom is the freedom of movement, being able to move freely and I guess pain-free. The mobility equipment I've been able to utilise through Permobil, it's unlocked that free moving ability for me. My day-to-day life, getting from A to B, it feels so much more simpler than what it used to. Suddenly, I guess joint and pressure and stress that was building up, partly through training, but also being in equipment, I suppose, that I'd evolved beyond and was no longer appropriate for me in the way that my body wanted to move now. It certainly has made a massive difference to my life. It's improved my confidence tenfold. I feel like I'm sitting up and my shoulders are back, yet I'm fully supported. It's amazing just the difference that equipment can make, and being in something that no longer feels like it's in isolation. The chair actually feels like it's an extension of me. It's a strange but really empowering feeling. I'm definitely grateful for the connection that I've been able to establish with Permobil, and to be able to explore this area of life outside of sport and the ability to be able to move freely. My plans for the future are actually a little vague, but in that I find like a lot of excitement. For me, especially coming into high performance triathlon, I really kind of learnt that people don't like to see someone struggle. Struggle is a really important part of the development process, but if you're out there and you're trying to help yourself, I've found that people will quite often try and help you, and it's really opened my eyes up to, I suppose, a new way of living that I want to explore more. I feel like I'm in a position now where there's other people out there who are trying to achieve their goals, and they might be in that little sticking point of between struggle and breakthrough, where they just need a little bit of help, whether it's in the realm of movement or just being made a little bit more aware of something, or having a connection enabled. It can just be something as simple as that, and I suppose for me more broadly, like that's where I'm at. They're my kind of goals now, that I feel ready to be able to help other people and kind of pay back the amount of help that people have given me over the last 9 years, and even before finding sport, while recalibrating myself in life and rediscovering who I was, the amount of people that helped me do that as well. I certainly feel like I owe something to others, even if I can't pay back those people who did help me.